Ambassador, thank you for taking this interview. The Malaysian Ministry of International Trade and Industry previously stated that Malaysia would benefit from global trade and investments thanks to RCEP. How do you view the role of RCEP when it comes to trade in the Asia-Pacific region?
RCEP is, of course, very important, and it's been years in the making. It's now the largest free trade agreement in the world, and it seeks to do a couple of things. One of it is to reduce tariffs, and secondly is to promote greater interoperability in terms of the regulations and the software of trade, which facilitates trade. And we are a trading nation, and typically our trade is more than our GDP. So the greater the level of regional integration there is, the more beneficial it will be for a country like Malaysia. Generally, bilateral trade with China this year, up to the first 2 months, has been about $29 billion. And that in itself is an increase of 28.1%. So even without RCEP, the trade relations between the two countries have already increased. So I suspect that with RCEP, it's going to increase even more. You know, at the end of the day, the RCEP, the RCEP, is an agreement between governments. But to make it work, it falls on the private sector. So it is incumbent on the private sector to take benefit from the RCEP. And the way that governments can assist the private sector in achieving this aim is to inform them through education and through facilitation. Obviously, the global supply chain is moving towards being more fractured than it was before. People are talking about deglobalization. I prefer to think of it as re-globalization, because the globalization phenomenon is something which will not go away. So RCEP will strengthen regional supply chains